Solve the equation 3 plus x minus 6 over 3x equal to 3x plus 1 over 2x minus 3. Okay, to start this off, what I want to do is I want to get rid of the denominators of the fraction, so I'm going to multiply everything in this equation by 3x, and I'm going to multiply everything in this equation by 2 times x minus 3. What that means is, for my first term, I get 3 times 3x times 2, lots of x minus 3. My second equation, I don't need to multiply it by the 3x, second term, I don't need to multiply it by the 3x, I just need to multiply it by, that's x minus 6, just need to be able to multiply it by the denominator 2 x minus 3, so I get x minus 6 multiplied by 2 x minus 3, and then on the other side of the equation, don't need to multiply this term by the 2x minus 3, that cancels, I just need to multiply this by 3x, so I get 3x times 3x plus 1. Okay, so just take our time carefully expanding these brackets. I'm going to multiply the 3 and the 2 as a first step, and I'm going to multiply 3x times x, which is 3x squared, and the 3x times minus 3, which is minus 9x. It's worth taking an extra step if you need to avoid silly mistakes. So second term, I'm just going to ignore the 2 for the time being. I'm going to expand the brackets, it's easier that way. So I get x times x, which is x squared. I get x times minus 3 and x times minus 6, which will give me minus 9x. And then minus 6 times minus 3 is plus 18. This is equal to 9x squared, because 3x times 3x, and then 3x times plus 1 is plus 3x. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Let's expand this again. So I'll get 18x squared minus 54x plus 2x squared minus 18x plus 36. So it's just expanding each of those brackets by multiplying by the coefficient, equal to 9x squared plus 3x. I'm going to tidy this up. I'm going to take 9x squared across to both sides, and I'm going to subtract the 3x from both sides. So I get 18x squared plus 2x squared is 20x squared. I then want to subtract this 9x squared, so I get 11x squared. If you need to take more steps to do this, it's completely fine. I've got minus 54x minus another 18x is minus 72x. I'm then going to subtract another 3x, which gives me minus 75x. Finally, I've got plus 36. There's nothing else I need to do to tidy that up, so I get plus 36 equals 0. Now, I'm not going to try and factorise a bracket where I'm going to have to do quadratic where I have to do 11 times 36. Plus, the answer says question says to give the answer to 2 decimal places. So I suspect that we're going to be using the quadratic formula. So minus b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now remember, when using this, the mark is given first of all for a substitution. So x equals minus 75 plus minus the square root of minus 75 squared minus 4 times 11 times 36 all over 2 times 11. Now, working this through, we get 75 plus or minus the square root of 4041. And this is the only intermediary step that I'd bother to show, to be honest, over 22. And then finally, if we do x plus our solution, I get an answer of 6.30. And if I do x at 75 minus the discriminant, I get 0.52. And these answers are correct to 2 decimal places. Okay, well, let's have a look to see how the marks are awarded in this question. First of all, a method mark is given for trying to clear the fractions in some sort of way. So even if you've just attempted one of those steps, you can get a method mark. Next, there is a method mark if we get to this step here where I have multiplied each of the numerators by the correct terms. Next, there is a method mark if you have expanded out these brackets slowly. So actually I think the method mark would probably apply to here. And then finally we get an answer mark if we get to the quadratic, which I've demonstrated here on the left hand side. Next, there is a method mark for correctly showing how we're going to use the quadratic formula. There is then an answer mark for showing how it simplifies to this third answer. And then finally, there is one final accuracy or answer mark for getting the two values correct to 2 decimal places. Okay, well, I hope that all made sense and you understood my solution.